Welcome to Japan, guys.
Thank you so much.
So is this the first time that you're all in Japan?
Yeah, it is.
As a band and personally as well?
Yeah, none of us is open.
Was there anything that particularly surprised you about Japan, or was it what you imagined?
Organization.
Yeah, crazy.
Order. It's crazy.
But I'd say also like just walking on the street, it's completely a different culture, of course, compared to Italy and Europe. And just the way like all the commercials or the stores or the way people dress, it's so fun because it's completely different and we have nothing like this like in Italy.
Right, right. So, you said organization. Is there something particular that struck you? Is it not like that in Rome?
No,
I think that anywhere, like there's no place like that, like organization-wise. Like when we got here with the plane, all the airport and the transfers, and when we got here to the hotel, like how we've been welcomed. It's crazy good.
Yeah, and also the kindness.
Yeah.
There's like a crazy kindness.
Right.
As Italians, we're not like...
No, we are kind, but in a different way.
No, we can.
In a different way. Like we're very physical.
Yeah.
Hey, my friend.
Kissing, the hugging.
Yeah.
But also I'd say like the interviews and everything we've been doing today, it's like so like on time, everything precise, and we're always like so late on everything, so everyone was like, okay, now we're in Japan, you have to be on time. If it starts at 7, it starts at 7. We're like, okay, I'm rushing.
Oh, wow. So that's a bit of a culture shock for you guys.
But we can get used to it.
Not
The man is happy. He likes to always be on time.
I'm very happy.
Ah, okay. So you're a prompt person, always on time.
Yeah, I like precise things.
Precise things, yeah. And so, Damiano, I hear that you're a big anime fan.
Yeah.
So is there anything in particular that you're watching now or reading now?
Now I'm kind of stopped because I got like 1 year I only watched anime. So
Wait, hold on. A whole year you only watched anime?
Yeah, no series. Like I had to keep it up, So I just said, okay, now I have to stop because I'm getting I'm going too crazy about it, and but I don't know. Like I also have many things to restart watching. Like One Piece, it's too many episodes.
Yeah,
to watch
so many.
all in a row. It's 2,000. So like you gotta every 3 months you watch a bit.
Yeah, I hear you. Italy isn't really known for rock music. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. And people are saying really like you guys are the breakthrough rock act coming through from Italy. But what was your inspiration growing up musically?
I think like, as you said, in Italy, like the rock scene isn't that big, but we all grew up listening to a lot, of course, of like British bands or American bands. So we all grew up like with the big classics from Led Zeppelin, Queen, Rolling Stones, Stooges, so many. Like we all also have like different tastes in music, so we all have a different background. But I'd say like, of course, we all like Aerosmith. We all been influenced by some of the biggest bands, of course, and then I think the cool part was like to mix up all our different identities in a like more modern way, of course, but like taking all these things from the past and making them into something new today.
What about the rest of you guys? I mean, what do you feel when someone's like, oh, wow, Italy's not really known for rock? Does it make you feel weird, or is it like correct, or?
No, I think it's very true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't feel like we did something that special. Like we just played what we liked to play, and that worked out pretty well. But we don't feel like any responsibility to bring back rock and roll. Like I really don't care. I don't know if they care a bit more, but I just want to play music.
Right.
I would say we didn't thought about to do something special. We just did what we wanted to do, and then just turned into something special by itself. Let's say that, like organically, naturally.
Right.
I think this is also magical thing behind it, probably.
So, I mean, depending on where you're raised, I mean, there's certain places where you're born and you're raised, and there's, rock shows and there's punk shows and places where you can kind of get together and listen to rock. Was there any place like that for you guys in Rome?
YouTube.
YouTube. So that was your really only way of kind of accessing that kind of music.
Yeah,
As kids,
we were so young. Spotify was not a thing yet, so we had to watch videos. Yeah.
But I think we got a lot of this experience, but it was later on when we already started playing. But when we went to London, because I feel like out of all the cities we've been to, that there's where there's the best scene of upcoming bands and rock music in general, with all the different influences. And there we really spent almost 2 months living there, and we went to different gigs every day. So that really had a big impact on us and made us grow as musicians, seeing so many. I think the moment when you see all the bands playing live is where you can get the most inspiration and learn, of course. So I think that's been a huge thing, and it's very sad that it's not a thing in Italy, but yeah, I think also through videos and stuff.
In general, small gigs are not a thing in Italy. Not just for rock and roll, even if you're a small boy band, you have nowhere to play.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's weird because it would be so easy.
Yeah. It's when artists are already known, then they do their own shows, but there's no small venues where they host different bands and upcoming
half an hour each, which is the kind of night in London. It's you go everywhere, anywhere, and there's 5 bands playing half an hour each other, and you see many different things.
Right.
In Italy, you gotta be at least 2 million 2 million listeners on Spotify to have a gig, which is pretty sad, but
You guys started playing on the streets and street performing.
Yeah.
So what was the reaction like? I mean, if rock isn't really a thing in Italy, and you just start jamming out, are people responsive in a good way, or are they oh, what is this rock and roll band? Or, I mean, what was
many different feedbacks? Yeah. We used to play in Via del Corso, which is the shopping and the most iconic street in Rome. So it was plenty of tourists also. So there was a lot of people stopping by. Actually, we were pretty good at it, but
I think you guys are pretty good.
no, at the time it was going well, but on the other hand, there was a lot of most of all youngers that are used to listen to rap, hip hop, and trap music, and they hated us. Just watching us. You have a guitar, you're a loser, and I hate you, and go home.
It was so fun because there was this rapper that now is very famous in Italy, which we're not gonna say the name.
Tell me, tell me.
But then we watched. We found
that he's in jail now.
we found a video of it was 2016 of us playing, and we see in the background of the video him walking by, and he wasn't famous at the time, and he shouted something at us, you idiots, or something, and walks by, and then we found this video 5 years later. It was no way, it's him, what the fuck. But this is a good explanation, I'd say.
We should post
Yeah,
it.
right?
Wow.
And tag him and say, let's do a feature.
So you know what? Eurovision, you guys obviously won, and you said rock and roll never dies. So I mean, does that have something to do with what you guys experienced with, that kind of everybody against rock, and you guys made it?
At the time we were struggling with our label, which with the time they got to understand us more, and we got to understand that more, so we got pretty much on the same path now. But also with our former manager, she was not really into our new kind of music because we changed a bit during our career, and she was not really confident of us going well in Sanremo and then at the Eurovision. So it was a bit of a releasing thing, you were wrong, we were right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's got to be difficult though, because you guys obviously knew what your sound was, and you were making music that you loved, and you knew that the people would react to, and yet, you know, like the adults in the industry or the ones that you're working with are like, nah. I mean, that's got to be something really difficult to try to overcome.
But also, like, if you don't, like, we didn't know how the people were going to react, but we were like, if I do something that I really believe in and people hate it, of course I'm gonna be sad, but at least I did what I wanted to do, and if it goes wrong, it's my responsibility, and I took the shot, and it's all on me,
Right.
and I'm the only one to blame. But if I do something because someone else told me to do it and it goes wrong, I'm gonna hate that person
Right.
forever.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hate anybody.
But also,
I just want to hate myself.
I get that.
philosophy.
Hashtag it, yeah?
I just want to hate myself.
Lifestyle. But I think
To a t-shirt.
the hard part was that we were still like very young, and it's hard when so many people tell you something like against what you're doing to still like not let them get in your mind and start believing in what they say, because of course, like, I think in this job you can have a feeling and you can have your own thoughts, but you can never know for sure when something people is gonna like or not, so you can't like really predict the people's reaction, of course. And I think neither can we or the label, of course, no one can. But it's very difficult when there's so many people telling you like the opposite of what you feel is right, to still find the courage to do what you feel and to do what you believe in and not let them get in your head. So it's a hard balance, I'd say.
Oh, absolutely. That's got to be really difficult. So what was the first time that you felt like, oh yeah, you know what? People are going to respond to this.
When we got to Sanremo.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Yeah, because it's like
Which
this
is like
big
the-
Italian competition.
Oh, okay.
It's like Eurovision, but in Italy, and it's like so known for only having like very typical Italian like ballads or very slow melodic songs. So what we played there was like completely different, and for like ages there weren't like a band playing this kind of music there. And when they were like at the time, even the most like historical rock bands in Italy didn't do very well there, because it's just like also like the people in the audience, it's like very elder people, very like no, but like very it's like something
No, I know
like
what you mean.
all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
grandmas in Italy.
Right.
Now it's also getting more for young people,
Right,
because it's
right.
transforming with
Yeah.
the years, but it's something very traditional. Okay, so of course a lot of people were like, what are you doing on there?
Yeah, it's like the Italian music festival. So if you go there with the kind of a US vibe or British vibe, people are gonna hate you. Like you're not really Italian.
Right,
I was born and
right.
raised in Italy, so yeah, I'm very Italian.
Yeah.
But also the cool thing is that the year after we went back as guests and we played like a super slow ballad. So we were like, yeah, I can do both.
I showed you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's almost like people didn't really know that they wanted rock, right? It's like the crowd there, they didn't know what they needed, and then you guys showed up and were like, here you go,
I think
enjoy.
that every time a new thing, even if our music is not a new thing, but feels new, every time a new thing come out, it's exactly this. Like we never knew we needed phones to do photos and FaceTime, but then we got it and we're used to do photos.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just that. I think that the audience just gets what's in the shelf. So I it's just you gotta give them something so they can really say if they appreciate it or not. But if you don't give them this thing, like if you don't try a new food, you cannot say that you don't like it. So you have at least try it.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Like we got them a taste of rock and roll and they said, it's good, tasty, juicy.
Juicy.
Yes, it is.
That you guys are all quite adventurous and you try new things all the time.
I like trying new things.
Yes.
Vic is trying a lot of new food.
Oh, okay.
I'm improving.
What have you
I am
tried on
very
this trip?
picky. I am very picky, but now I'm getting way better.
Yeah, now it's your chance.
I also drank a coffee today. I don't drink
Yeah.
coffee ever, but I was like literally falling asleep.
First coffee.
I had my first coffee today.
Wait, but you're from Italy.
Yeah, I know. This is like outrageous.
It was
but
not even an espresso, it was an Americano.
You had an actual
So
Americano.
you also tried fake coffee.
Oops.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fake. Brown hot
Review on the
water.
perception.
Yes, brown hot water.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, cancelled for
bean
eating
soup.
black coffee.
That was the interview with Måneskin.